who's in Manchester for us this morning, which is your part of the world.
Yeah.
Bradley, what does this mean for people up north?
Well, I think it's a similar picture, really. House prices are going up. I think everybody expected that. Later on today, I'll be speaking to an estate agent to see if that's what they expected. But certainly for people here in Greater Manchester, you take a look around, particularly in the city centre, and it's development after development. Properties are being built, people want to buy, and that leads to an increase in price. So I'm not particularly surprised by the new figures that have been released today from the Office for National Statistics. In Greater Manchester, the average house price currently stands at £264,500. That's up 20% from last year. Take a trip over to Cheshire, a much more affluent part of the northwest. It goes up. It's currently just over £300,000. It's actually the highest of all the counties in the northwest region. If we come back to Greater Manchester, though, and take a look at the most highest and the lowest, the most expensive area in Greater Manchester at the moment is actually Bramall, where, check this, you can typically expect to buy a home for over £2 million. Yep, those are the prices in Bramall. The other end of the spectrum, though, in Farnworth, currently the cheapest area, where the average house price stands at £133,000. So why are these house prices going up across the northwest and beyond, actually, across the UK? Well, if you remember, back in July 2020, tax changes came into force from the government, meaning that if you were to purchase a house up to the value of £500,000, then you would incur no tax charges. That then meant that people were effectively selling their houses at a higher cost, because the buyer, the person who's buying the house, overall has cheaper costs to pay. But in the long run, the tax that you're saving is actually going on to the house price, leading again to an increase there. Also, tax breaks as well, which were originally due to conclude at the end of March 2021. It's likely that those average house prices were slightly inflated, again, as buyers rushed to ensure that their houses were purchased in time before those deadlines. So, again, is it a surprise that house prices are increasing? I don't think it is. I think, especially with the pandemic, that certainly changed people's minds in terms of when they buy a house, and certainly for how much they sell. As I say, later on I'll be hearing from an estate agent who can tell me what people were thinking during that time, and especially why house prices have increased so rapidly since this time last year.